of a practice to just go into film today?
We were doing that anyway. We just probably miscommunicated that. So we were doing that from the beginning. We want to do that more. A lot of these days are off. And, last year we had that, if you remember the beginning of the year, we had every other day. And it just felt like we couldn't progress much because, the scheduled off days. And then we have shoot around where you can't watch film enough to prepare and get ready. So we're just going to do that a lot more this year.
Doc Matisse hasn't even played like a full minute just yet these first 2 games.
Yeah.
What does he have to show you to maybe?
Well, it's just the other guys. It's a pecking order right now, but he's working his butt off and he'll play. He'll get a chance to earn more minutes at some point for sure. But, right now, Daniel House and DeAnthony are in front of him. We're going with a smaller rotation, but he'll have a chance to earn minutes at some point.
How tough is that to, get tossed into a couple of defensive possessions? Like the cliche is stay ready,
Part
but
is
that
tough.
really,
That part is really tough. But I give him credit. I think so far he's been pretty positive about it. And the guys, this league is a very competitive league. I can show you a lot of people who aren't playing right now around the league who have pretty good names. And it's just the way it is. As a coach, you got to always make the rule, whatever you think is the right decision for the team, but you still have to take care of the individual players as well. You got to try to keep their mental right.
After looking at the film, has anything stood out to you about how you said the offense was unorganized?
Yeah, it's funny watching the game, and this is why you watch film. And Dave Yeager, him and I worked together offensively. We had the exact same thought. We went in the film with a very negative mindset, and then when we watched the film, you realize, wow, we did good. We got a lot of great shots. Joel had 21 shots, 16 of them he will take all night. They just didn't go in. Those, all right. The only thing that I didn't like, and where I said we didn't run our sets with enough vigor to me, with enough power. And so that wasn't exactly unorganized. I was probably wrong in saying that. It was more, we got to run it with the right intention, with better pace. And I didn't think we did that. So we have to do that better. And then I didn't think we freely passed the ball. They had, 42, I forget, threes. We had 24, whatever the number was. We didn't make but 5 of them. And they made 13 of them. You can't make up 5 to 13 in three-pointers. It's hard to make up, yet it still was a 1-point game. So, and we showed them that. There were so many times where the ball could have come out of your hand quicker and got guys shots, and we have to be able to do that.
Joel got off to a little bit of a slow start last year before really obviously taking off.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you think is the cause?
Yeah, I don't know that. I'm not smart enough to know that one. He had a little plantar fasciitis before the season started, before training camp, and that took him off his conditioning program, and so he's back on that. But listen, he's playing with the right intention, just didn't play well, and that's okay too. That's going to happen. We still got to win those games.
Has the way that you approach film, either the way you study it, the way you then convey it to players, how has that changed over the course of your coaching?
Oh, that's been a big change. I mean, first of all, as a player when I first started, you had to watch the game. There was no edits. Yeah. So it was on an 8-track tape. I don't even know what the hell that came up, real. And so you literally had to watch quarters, which were brutal for players. Now the edits are, different. But, where you learn as a coach, edit is a very positive thing for a coach and a very negative thing for a player. Positive for a coach because you're trying to teach the team to get better, show them their mistakes, and where we can improve. But for the player, it's like, why are you picking on me?
Right. Showing everything we did wrong.
Yeah, and my response a couple of times was, stop picking on me, and I won't show it. But you got to be careful with it. Like I try to make my films themes, like where this is where we're going. We can get better. I do show a lot of positive stuff in film because I just believe more positive is better than more quote unquote negative, even though it's not, but it is. So you got to think, let's say there's one guy that made 12 mistakes in the same game. You can't show all 12 of them in a row. You got to, you just got to be careful with it, be smart with it.
looked like the spacing around Joel a couple times that wasn't the sharpest.
Yeah,
Daniel cutting along the baseline, you're waving him out.
yeah.
Is that about role clarity and what?
Yeah, not road clarity, just spacing. Joel, we have the ISO play on the elbow. Well, it should just be one guy in the corner and three guys on the weak side. Both times down the stretch of the game, two guys are on the strong side of where he wanted to go. So he had to settle. Those are the things, new team, new guys. But for a coach, you get frustrated with that because we've only run that play 50 times already. Then another guy did it. So but both of them were new guys, and they were both in the wrong spot. And those are the things early on you build, you get better at.
With PJ and Joel, conditioning obviously is something you're aware of, but keeping them healthy, of course, is a priority as well. What's your approach there, trying to balance both those?
Well, the number one thing is with Joel, just trying to change his minute allocation early. We don't like that because we wanted to go with a different type of rotation, but right now we have to probably do it different just to keep him so he's running at a higher speed. PJ is in great shape, actually. I just don't like him playing that many minutes. That's too many minutes. Now, we matched him with Giannis +3, because we wanted to go with that small lineup yesterday. And, that was with Giannis off the floor, too, and we kept him on the floor. But that's too many minutes. You can do it once or twice, but I don't like PJ playing that many minutes.
Defensively, what is more, I guess, frustrating? The game one where there were all the blow-bys that you didn't like, or last night when you gave up those open threes?
Game one, clearly, we were awful game one. There was no defense in game one, neither team, for that matter. We shot 56, 50, they shot 50. Yeah, that was for two quote-unquote defensive teams, that was horrific. Last night, giving up that many threes was frustrating. A lot of that was rotation. And a lot of that is they're good. Giannis, he sets the tone a lot with how they play. And you do get sucked in with some of this stuff. But we had some transition ones. Lopez 3 in particular, that he shouldn't have gotten any of those. And we have to take those away. And then just the mistakes. We made back cut layup, in a 1-point game and giving up the 3 when, we just told them, guys, 3 twos don't hurt us. And now we got a 3 will kill us. And we gave up a 3. We got sucked in, and that can't happen.
How do you get Tyrese a little bit more going in the half-court offense? Seems like most of his offense obviously comes from transition because of speed, but how do you
just keep involving them? I mean, right now we're still trying to get Joel and James more rhythm, but then we'll just keep adding layers to that, and Tyrese will be the next in line.
Is that because it's so early in the season? It's only 2 games.
Yeah, but I still think we got to use him more. I thought last night we could have used Tobias more too. I thought he had a favorable matchup. That doesn't mean. What I'm trying to teach our guys, just because we're calling you a number, that means it's your shot. It means you got an advantage, and if you get help, then you make the right play. That's what we as a group have to get better.
Besides what we've already talked about with Joel, is there anything else that you see, just like, okay, these are really easy corrections to get him going?
I'm the least worried about Joel, probably. He didn't play well, and that's okay. That's going to happen. He's got to get his rhythm, his condition, all that has to get better, but it will. So I'm not concerned with that. I think if we can get Joel those shots he had last night every night, I think most of the time we're going to be very happy about the outcome. But the only thing I told our guys is, okay, that happens. You still got to win the game. All right? And I said, James, Joel, if you go over 20, what else can you do to help us win? We can't ever let the misses affect how we play through the other part of our games. And as a group, that has to be something.
I just want to real quick clarify. You said Joel was dealing with a plantar fasciitis.
Before the year started, before the training camp.
But it's not bothering him now.
No, it's nothing. Yeah.
The Bucks are.
I'm glad you clarified that.
They're caring a lot more about limiting threes this year. How has your approach on that changed over the years, and what is it now with guarding the 3-point line?
Well, we want to limit threes. And to do that, you have to limit dribble penetration. They're connected. And then when you limit dribble penetration, sometimes you give up threes. I thought we had a lot of 3-point opportunities that we didn't get. So they say they're doing that, but I thought watching the game, it looked like the same defense in a lot of ways. The only thing I thought that stood out with them, and they have a guy that can do it. Whenever Drew is guarding a guy, they span out. They basically say, you can't beat him. It's not a lot of teams with a Drew. So, but that was the only time I thought they were pulled in more, just like before. But when Drew guarded, they went the other way. Like, he's not getting beat up to Drew. So good luck, you.